Planning Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, please call the roll.
Bartlett. Here. Gross.
Here.
Johnson. Oh. Ryan. Mary.
Here.
Nealon.
Okay, we have a quorum, so we can do business tonight. We have 4 of the 7 members of the Planning and Zoning Commission here. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from June 18th.
I make that motion.
Do we hear a second to approve those minutes? Second. Clerk, please call the roll.
Gross.
Yes.
Mary.
Yes.
Nealon. Yes. Bartlett.
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay, tonight we have a public hearing for the map amendment and special use permit application submitted by, is it Kudrak?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Kudrak Truck Lines Incorporated for the property located at 6053 Industrial Drive. Do I have someone here from? Motion to, I'm sorry, first of all, a motion to open up the meeting to the public.
I make that motion.
Do I hear a second? Second. Roll call?
Bartlett.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Mary.
Yes.
Nealon.
Okay, so now the meeting's open to the public. What I'd like to do is I'd like to have a representative from Woodruff Truck Lines come up and please make a presentation.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Chris Spacia on behalf of the petitioner, Woodruff.
Okay,
First order of business, I'm going to submit to the clerk our return receipts
please.
on the notices.
Thank you, sir.
I put a presentation in front of everyone, but before we get into it, Brad Sudler's here, and he's going to tell you about the company and give you some background on who is Woodruff and his involvement with Woodruff.
Okay.
Good evening, Chairman and Board. My name is Brad Subler. I'm President of Budget Truck Lines.
This is my turn.
Who's?
It is. Not very loud.
Oh, not on? All right, okay, I'll start over. Good evening. My name is Bradley Subler. I'm President of Budget Truck Lines. I started the company in 1967. The first year I was in business, we lost money. We've been profitable ever since. I'm conservative, and I like to run the company in a conservative manner. I live in Monee at the present time, my wife Linda and I, and we'd sure like to build this facility. I think we found a good spot for it. It's, I don't think it's going to bother anybody. And unless there's something I don't know about the site, I think it'd be a perfect fit. We're presently located at 8040 South Roberts Road in Bridgeview, Illinois. We've got about 5 acres there. We've got multiple problems. There's a school located there, and I expect eminent domain anytime, although that might not happen. But it's just entirely too small for us. This facility would serve our needs, and I feel that we would be a good neighbor, especially the fact that I live in Monee, and I want to see the best for the village. Any questions?
Not so far. That's a good opening statement. I don't know if there's anyone else that wants to make any more statements before I ask for any.
Okay, I'll give it back to Tricia.
Okay, so in front of you is a presentation we put together, and I'll go through these slides, and then we'll have a couple other speakers who are going to talk in more detail about these boards that are in front of you. So this is for the trucking facility, and we're here seeking a recommendation for the approval of a rezoning and special use permit in order to operate the trucking facility, including outdoor storage on the property. Just a quick outline of the presentation. I'm going to go through the overview of surrounding property uses, and then we're going to have a couple speakers talk about the project specifically, and then I'll come back up and go through some of your standards in the ordinance, and then just some of the benefits to Monee, which I think are pretty obvious in the form of the enhanced tax base and some jobs coming down here. So if you flip to the next page, it's got an aerial view of 6053 Industrial Drive. So we outlined that in yellow. That is the property, 71 acres. It's on the east side of 57. Just a significant portion of the property is immediately adjacent to the highway, south of Industrial Drive. I was out there today, and it looks kind of rural in character, but everything surrounding it, and when you flip to the next page, is either industrial or it's zoned heavy industrial. So I've got your current zoning map, and we've highlighted the property in question. And you can see the area that we have to rezone is in red, and that's currently Monee C1. And we want to rezone that to M1. And then the special use again is for outdoor storage. The blue area that's to the east and north, that's your heaviest industrial zone, that's M2. So we're surrounded by that zone, and then I think most of you are probably familiar with the area. It's, again, industrial in character, and that makes the most sense, I think, for how this property is going to develop. So we will next get it on Mark Augustine is going to come up, and he's going to talk about the site plan and the specifics of the building and what we're planning on doing.
Thank you, Chris. The facility proposed is approximately 46,000 square feet. The use of the facility is a freezer, cooler, storage building. It is not a manufacturing facility. It is basically a warehouse for food product, frozen and refrigerated. And what I've got here, I'll hold up for you so I can stay by the microphone. What we've done is we've taken a Google Earth image of the current site. And you can see the outline is in black. And we've superimposed the image of the proposed footprint of this building. You can see that we've got this project sited at the very north end of the property. The east edge is I-57. I'm sorry, the west edge is I-57. The east edge would be a new roadway to provide access to this property and future developments that would occur on the south. We're only here tonight for this proposed facility. The bulk of the facility is a refrigerated and frozen warehouse. There are 14 truck docks. Adjacent between the freezer, cooler, and cool dock area where the shipping takes place, there is a function, we call it the maintenance garage. That's where they would repair trailers, small repairs on the trailers. This isn't designed for tractor trailer repair. For tractor repair, this is designed for trailer repair for the trailers that Budrick uses on facility. On the east side is the corporate offices. It's about 13,000 square feet of office and trucker support areas. So the facility is designed to be expanded. Currently the docks face south. In the future, there may be a need for additional freezer, cooler, storage, and additional docks. Those face north. And then on the site, there are a number of spots where tractor trailers or trailers would be stored on the property. Currently, Budrick's facility has no storage capability whatsoever. Most of their product is stored in tractor trailers on their site. So the way they're going to operate in this building is relatively new. They have the capability to store the product in racks, approximately four rack positions high. The top of the building is roughly 30 feet. The box of the refrigerator and cooler is an insulated, foamed-in-place freezer cooler panel. So you may have seen these on the refrigerated buildings in town. It's a smooth, relatively smooth-faced panel with some texture, and then the maintenance garage and the office would be a split-faced block, and I have some elevations of that I didn't bring in a large form, but I have them in an 11 by 17. If it's okay, I'd like to pass those out to you.
That'd be fine.
Looking at the building, the top elevation, the majority, and this would be what you would see. This building was designed to go into University Park, by the way. The drawings are completely finished and ready to submit for permit in University Park. But because of business reasons, my customer, Budrick, is interested in this particular lot on Industrial Drive, and we're in the due diligence process of ensuring that our intended use will fit here, okay? And that's why we're here tonight, to make sure that we can accomplish our intended use on the property, and we're requesting these variances. So the west elevation is technically the north elevation for this site. You can see the office would be on the right side, and then what we are referring to as the garage is on the left. The north, what is referred to in the middle elevations, what is the south elevation, is actually looking at the office. So if you were on the new road that would be constructed, this is the image that you would see. What we've done is we've created some color variations and some height variations to provide some interest for the business approach.
Is there also relief? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there is. There's a steel canopy over the front entrance doors. It's important that Budrick look clean, neat, organized, successful, but not over the top. They don't want customers thinking that they're paying too much for their services. The north elevation is actually the elevation you'd see if you were on I-57. So what we've done in siting this building, we've tried to take advantage of the natural grades, the predominant docks facing the south, and then the most desirable elevation where the customers access the project, and with the image of the trucks visible off of 57, because it's important as well that their customers and potential truckers find this building appealing. And a well-organized, neat, and well-maintained building is very appealing to their drivers, their employees, as well as their customers. And then the bottom elevation is an indication of how the building would look if you were standing looking at their truck dock operation. This is a blow-up of the site. Easy flow for tractor trailers throughout their site is very important. So we've expanded many of the dimensions to accommodate easy truck maneuvering on this site. You can see these positions here are for the tractor trailer combination. We've got 90-foot deep stalls. Typically, a tractor trailer combo is about 80 feet. Wanted to have some additional space. Made sure we had ample maneuvering space for tractor trailers on site. All maneuvering is on site. We've also are designing the building, intending on planning for future expansion. Hopefully, this business will grow at this site and this location. Again, it's a new way of operating, the fact that they have storage inside their facility. Typically, they break down their deliveries, store them in trailers, repackage them. When I say repackage, would break down a pallet, not necessarily boxes and individual food product items, and then repackage them onto a pallet, put it on the truck, and then ship their product. Their trucks will leave for several days and hit various spots on their route before they come back to the facility. So the intent is that the building is planned for future expansion, which we're very hopeful will happen. And it should. The building's been designed with that in mind.
Now, you said you were down the road with University Park and you went to a certain stop point with them. Did their fire department look at this?
Yes. Yes. The civil engineering design is one where we serve with sanitary sewer, domestic or city water, and then we've got fire protection, fire hydrants surrounding the site as well. So,
I just meant for like turnarounds for the emergency vehicles. and all
Yes,
that, because they get adequate space, which it looks like it
yes.
is, just from a novice's point of view.
I don't have any more items to present to you. If you have any questions, I can answer those.
Okay, let's go around Sheila. Do you have any? Anything that's
Well,
coming?
there's, how many stalls will there be before you're deciding to make the future additions? I don't think, I just want to make sure that I.
Certainly. There are currently, the initial building is 46,467 square feet, of which approximately 11,000 is the office component, 6,000 is the garage, the remainder being the freezer cooler and cool down. Car parking spaces, there are 41 for the office, 41 for their drivers and their dock personnel. Tractor spaces, in the event a tractor, they would drop a trailer and park a tractor, there would be 6. Tractor trailer combination spaces, initially there are 80, with the capability of providing 103 additional. The 80 is right now even more than they initially think they might need, but they're hopeful that growth will occur and they won't have to go through construction within the first year or two again.
Ms. Bartlett, can I ask you to hold your
Yeah,
questions now,
that's- yeah.
because we're gonna,
Okay.
we'll
gonna close
we'll
the
redirect
public-
a little
okay.
bit.
Okay?
Yeah.
Before we
Yes.
have the board, have any questions? Is there anyone from the public who wants to come up, has any questions, any comments? Asking again, is there anyone from the public that wants to make any comments on this? Hearing none, Sheila, please continue.
I need
I'm
to
sorry.
make a motion to close the public
Okay.
hearing.
Let's make
I
that
make
motion.
that motion.
To close the public hearing. Sheila's made the motion, second.
Second.
Roll call.
Mary,
Yes.
Nealon. Gross,
Yes.
Bartlett.
Yes,
Motion carried. Okay.
so go on with my question.
Yes, let's continue on.
What is the plan of hours of operation?
I can answer those.
Okay,
This is Tim
Hi, Tim.
Johnson
Nice
with
to meet you.
Butler.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm the general manager. The hours of operation are 7 to 10, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., Monday through Thursday. Some shipping is done on those 4 days, but the majority of our shipping is done on Friday. And on Friday, we run from about 7 a.m. Friday around the clock to Saturday about noon or 1 o'clock. And that's when, you know, we'll move on a weekly basis about 3 to 3.5 million pounds, and on that particular day, we'll move about 2.4 million pounds just on that day alone.
and it's only your trucking, no one else would actually bring a trailer in from other places, or do you receive the shipments and then they drop it off and then?
We receive a few, there's a few trucks, like companies in Ohio and Wisconsin that bring their product to us on their trailers, deliver the stuff on a Friday or on a Monday morning, and then we service 30 states delivering the LTL.
Okay. Will any of the drivers be staying overnight at the facility?
Of our drivers,
No, your building.
yeah, of our drivers,
Yes.
there's a possibility on a Thursday night, if a driver gets into town during the wee hours of the night, he'll make his pickups on a Friday morning.
But he's not staying in your building.
But he's not staying in the building, not at all,
He would be in the
no.
truck?
Yeah, he'd be in his tractor and trailer.
Okay. How many staff members do you think there will be inside the building?
Currently, we have 48 employees. It's split down the middle, about 24 full-time, 24 part-time. We're anticipating some growth. At any one time, I don't think there's any more than 30 to 35 in the building.
I think with all the rest of it, you've answered my questions, so thank you.
And we'll take an abeyance again now for the rest of the board, because I want to get the mayor up here. I want to get the mayor to stand up in front of the podium and bring us up to speed from where we started and where we are now, if you would. Also, if you discuss some of the road improvements that are being developed, that wasn't really clear in the presentation. And
No.
any kind of
That's one question.
recapture discussions or things like that.
Yeah, the village first, I first heard about the situation where they were a little bit frustrated with Monee, and we thought it was the village of Monee, and we hadn't even heard of the situation. We got the information from the county. It was the Friday before Memorial Day.
Yeah.
As soon as I found out somebody wasn't happy with our village, it turned out it wasn't our village, it was another unit of government with the same name. Township, basically. There's some frustration, getting some information. I think it might have even been with the assessor's office and a few other things.
We were looking into who we need to, who we need to talk to as far as estimating taxes and that, and we weren't getting a call back from the township assessor, I believe.
Right. So, as soon as I found out there was a point of frustration there, I immediately found out who the company was, because we didn't even know at that point. Got ahold of Mr. Johnson and, a couple hours.
Yeah, on that Friday night, yeah.
And then arranged for a meeting the following Tuesday morning after Memorial Day.
Mhm.
He came in, and I'm not sure if your brother-in-law or your dad.
Brad, yeah,
Yeah.
Brad was with.
Anyhow, reviewed a number of properties that were potentially suitable to their expectations. Some were in the village, some were not.
Right.
Just trying to make sure that we were finding the best suited
Yeah.
situation that was a mutually advantageous arrangement there. After showing several properties, giving them some information about each of them, they honed in on the property that is commonly referred to as Aunt Aggie's property, also has other nicknames. But at that, the environment that they were looking to build there, the proximity to the heavy industrial, but because, and what we had discussed was because of the proximity to the interstate, we wanted to make sure that there was the expectation for maintaining a clean appearance, not to be confused with, because I know at one point they were interested in seeing about just getting it zoned in too, which would be heavy industrial, which would not necessarily be the most attractive from the interstate. So they were willing to concede to that as well. Beautification with landscaping and things like that were in buffering with berms and things of that, well within their expectation. Bottom line is, if we got a business that's looking to move to our town, and they're a good community partner, concerned about their neighbors, looking at all the options. I know they reached out to the neighbors. One of the neighbors actually came in and talked to me after he got the notification, and
I even spoke with one of the neighbors for about a half hour on the phone. Was a really nice gentleman, and I told him, what we're building there, not only will it look good, but it'll, it's going to sit back more than, 300-400 feet from Industrial Drive. And, we have to being that we haul foodstuffs, we're dealing with USDA all the time. We have to keep a clean environment. And what we're doing with this building is we're taking it to the next level. We want the people like, you know, Windsor Foods and Oscar Mayer and, you know, all of these companies to come to us and say, wow, we want to move our stuff on your trucks. And that's why we're designing this building this way.
Did you have any more specific questions you needed from me?
Oh, yeah, if you would discuss any kind of road improvements that we've.
Yeah,
And recaptures.
yeah, one of the things that we're looking at is because currently, as you all know, Cleveland or Sunrise, as it's kind of referred to back and forth, near the truck stop, doesn't extend all the way down to industrial yet. So one of the things that we're looking into, and this is related and unrelated at the same time, we have an agreement from, Larry, what was the name of the property owner that is kind of the bridge between the two extensions? Northern. We have an agreement from them that they're supposed to help us put that section of road in that's missing. We are hoping that since that development has not come to fruition at this point, that while they're working on their building, we can start working on trying to see if there's any grants or anything we can do to expedite and preemptively go ahead and deal with that road to better provide pass-through and connectivity all the way down from Cleveland, Sunrise, all the way down to Industrial and out to Governor's that way, which creates a nice alternate path as well, in and out of there. There's a number of reasons why that would be beneficial. Currently, there is not water or sanitary at that location, but that is something we're gonna have to contend with. So it's, none of these are unsurmountable, they're just projects we have to deal with, and if we're gonna develop the area, those are things we're gonna have to contend with at one point or another. And when you have a development that's willing to come in, and, you know, we need to find a way to meet those expectations. And it will certainly help getting that road extended, making some improvements, you know, with the other infrastructure, the sanitary, the water in that area. Those are all going to be beneficial to the other development of business in that area.
Now, besides that road being extended, will Industrial Drive itself be improved upon?
Well, we're gonna, yeah, that's one of the things we're gonna have to work on doing as well. And certainly, if you're gonna be driving heavy trucks, you know, in that area, which currently they're not, you know, that's something we're gonna have to take into account. So, you know, we're gonna have to find a way to make it happen, but we don't think that should hinder their development. You know, that's something we feel like as a village, you know, we need to partner with them as much as we can. We need to find the resources to encourage development in that whole area. Until that road's completed, until the infrastructure's there, we're gonna have a hard time getting other development to come into that same general vicinity. So overall, it'll be a win-win to pull us through. So, any other questions about the infrastructure or anything else like that?
Not from me, sir. I want to ask the village administrator, do you have anything to add? Village administrator? No? Let's continue on then. Phyllis, if you want to ask any questions or comments?
No, none whatsoever. This is an ideal location. I think you made a good choice here with this property. It's in a good location. It's perfect for what you want. I see no problem with it. It's only a plus.
Yeah, we think so.
Mr. Neary?
I have no questions right now, but I'd like to visit the property, see the geography of the place, what's around it, things of that. I'm kind of curious about the sewer and water, how far it is, how big of a deal that would be.
Well, we're running water if I can. We are in the process of, we were endeavoring to, we haven't gotten it there yet, but we were endeavoring to bring water down near that area going north. We weren't planning on going that way south, but it's gonna be within just a few hundred feet probably of where they were gonna need it to connect into anyhow. So the sanitary was something that's gonna, sanitary is a little bit more complex because you have to get your elevations are more important than pressurized water. So you don't have to put a lift station in that necessarily. But there again, if we're gonna develop the area, we have to start to contend with that stuff.
I can enhance that sanitary sewer conversation if you like.
Sure.
The, the nice thing about this particular site and the development potential is, this is Industrial Drive, and down at this location is the approximate location of the sanitary and water where it ends. As was mentioned, water goes up, waste goes down, you really look for gravity flow. Well, if you do go out to the site, you'll find that this particular site is probably the highest point in the area. There's a ridge that runs approximately right down the middle. And you can tell just by looking and by the topographic survey information, there's approximately a 10-foot grade difference between this point and this building, which is more than enough to get gravity drainage from here to there, and quite honestly, just intuitively from here to here. The big question is, how will we have enough to facilitate future development on this site? So I don't think there'd be any issue with gravity drainage of sanitary for this building at this time. The things that we are trying to investigate is what impact is there for future development, because this roadway is being designed to be extended so that these parcels can also be developed for industrial use, which would be a benefit to the village.
I only have one question, and it might be the mayor or the village administrator answering this one for me. Industrial Drive, as it hooks up to Route 50, we have the curvilinear road. Right now at 50, is there anything, because of this, or anything coincidental that's going on right now as far as any impending improvements for that?
That is a state road as it interconnects there, and the only way we could actually get any, and Larry, I think it's FAU route funding, is if that road were actually connected all the way from Manhattan Road, because currently that road doesn't connect at all. So until that road connects, the state won't partner with us on signalization or anything else at that particular area. So we have to actually have the roads connect along Cleveland Sunrise. Once that's connected and now it becomes a possible thoroughfare, then we can present to the state for possible grants for funding of the.
I was talking about the intersection of Industrial and Route 50.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but I'm saying is potentially signalization would be suitable there.
Okay.
But we're not gonna get any support from the state on that unless there's a connecting route that goes all the way through.
Okay, gotcha, all right, understood, okay. Myself, I don't have any questions for the presenters. You guys have done a great job tonight, and I think a lot of it's because you've taken us so far with University Park that it's not just a raw concept anymore. You've really crystallized what you're looking for. You did a real good job with the presentation. The question I have is for the village attorney. Are there one or two motions that we're looking for tonight?
I believe you will have one motion, Your Honor, indicating, first off, we should have findings that they comply with the village code, indicating the special use will not be detrimental to the public health, that it will not diminish or impair the property values, and it's consistent with the surrounding industrial zoning. But the major motion, Your Honor, would be to have the entire site rezoned to M1 with the issuance of special use permit authorizing outside storage.
Do I hear anybody willing to make that positive motion?
I make that motion what he said.
Is there a
Easier
second?
than what he
I'll
said.
second.
Roll call, please.
Gross.
Yes.
Barry.
Yes.
Nealon.
Yes.
Bartlett.
Yes.
Motion carried. Next step is
Congratulations,
to
gentlemen.
continue to work with the village and village board meetings, and good job.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can you put those on the camera for a minute? Can you put those on the camera for a minute?
This will be up for consideration at the village board meeting next Wednesday, 24th,
Just right there.
6:30
How would you like this done?
Just one,
The
one,
only way you want.
just right there, just 2 and 3. Just 2 and 3. The other one's 2.
Yeah.
You want to store your product in my freezer.
Okay, and one more.
He said, he goes, I'm gonna double the size right now.
23rd, yeah, that's right, the 23rd. 23rd.
I'll get the elevations as well.
Where's that? Over
It's on
there?
the podium, but if you get this one out.
Okay. Oh, that is so helpful. Okay, great. Thanks.
I got
I have one thing, that I'd like to move the August planning and zoning meeting to August 21st. Normally scheduled for August 20th. I'll be in contact all day and all night on the 20th. And, be here for it. We're having a hard time getting a quorum. We're gonna have business on the next meeting, but there will be a meeting. There's some things that are lined up right now.
Regular time.
The regular time is 6:30.
August 21st?
Yeah. Yeah. And we're gonna post it or notify the newspapers.
This is a one-time.
A one-time variation, a special use. With that, I have nothing else. I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
I made that motion.
Roll call, please.
Leary.
Yes.
Nealon.
Yes.
Bartlett.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yes. We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.